What is going on, YouTube? Bringing you a brand new video today. I hope you are doing well, man. I hope you are in a positive mind state and that you feel very good. So let's talk about it. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United. Is this guy Ole in or Ole out? I don't know at the moment. I don't know. I think at the end of last season, I was definitely very much Ole in. I'm not going to lie. The reasons why I was Ole in is because I never expected him to make top four. He proved me wrong. I never expected him to finish third in top four, which I think is very different to finishing fourth, even though we were level on points with Chelsea. They lost 12 games, we lost nine. Um, and we had a better goal difference than them, if I'm not mistaken, or more clean sheets than them, if I'm not mistaken. So I think he definitely exceeded my expectations, and so as a result, as an objective football fan who very much prides himself on being fair and rational, it was only fair that I gave Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a chance to prove himself. Um, since then, it's been a shambles of a transfer window and a shambles of a start to the season. So I'm not really sure where I stand with Solskjaer at the moment. And I think he's got to prove himself over the next 5 to 10 games. But whatever happens with this guy, he's been done wrong by the board. And I don't think he's been given the opportunity to do what he was intended to do. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's expectations as a manager, your expectations of him as a manager are very much how you determine whether or not he's going to be successful at Manchester United or not. My expectations of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer were very, very simple when he stepped into this job. I did not expect him to go on and win major trophies and take us back to the glory days, but rather I expected him to help clear the deadwood and lay the foundation for the next manager to come in, as well as cultivate a winning and positive attitude in the dressing room that has been ruined over the last few years, and that seems to have seeped out. And I think a part of that, a huge part of that, is bringing players in who want to be at Manchester United and not big names who are just coming here because they had no better option. And this was the lesser of two evils. You look at the Alexis Sanchez signing, he didn't actually want to come to Manchester United. He wanted to go to Manchester City. Manchester United was the next best thing, and we offered him double what City wanted to offer him. So he was like, fuck it, City, I don't think City ever put in an official bid anyways, but he could have waited. If you really wanted to play for Man City that badly, you could have waited. But Manchester United flashed their brown envelope as they usually do, and Alexis Sanchez took it, which I don't blame him, but he came here and he was the biggest flop ever, ever. List goes on, man. You look at Di Maria, Falcao, Bastian Schweinsteiger. The list goes on of players at Manchester United who there were so many red flags when they came here, and the fact that they were on massive wages and contributed to the broken wage structure that we currently have, the issue of the wage structure that we currently have, in terms of players like Phil Jones and Marcus Rojo not being able to move on because they've put themselves in a bit of a what I like to call a golden cage. It's essentially when you accept a massive contract and you therefore trap yourself at a club because whoever wants to buy you out of that contract has to overpay much more than you're worth. So Manchester United have been in this perpetual cycle of not being able to move players that are classified as deadwood onto other clubs because of this wage structure issue. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in and has sort of started to change that a little bit. But as usual, the Glazers have ruined it once again. Talk about how the Glazers have undone also Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's work, but that's not what this video is intended to be. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer definitely does things that don't help himself, like for real. Selecting people like Pogba, which I spoke about in my previous video, selecting people like Harry Maguire, even when they're not playing particularly well, players being undroppable in this team, it sends mixed messages. This is a guy who's supposed to be rebuilding the structure of the team and bringing a cultural shift in the team. But for some odd reason, he contradicts himself and shoots himself in the foot all the time. Because when there comes a time to make an example of players in the dressing room, when there comes a time to say, hey, if you do not want to play for Manchester United, or if you are not playing well enough for Manchester United, go sit on the bench or go be in the reserves. It seems like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is afraid to do that. And I look, on the one hand, in certain positions, I can see it. In the centre-back position, you drop Maguire, you drop Lindelof. Who are you going to play? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted Upamecano. He didn't get him in the transfer window. So in some positions, I understand it. But in other positions, like the midfield area where we do have depth and quality now, I mean, at the end of the day, you've got Fred, you've got McTominay, you've got Van der Beek. Why aren't you using them? And the thing that's always frustrated me about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is this: if people say there is a massive drop off from the first team to the bench, right, which I 100% agree with in certain positions, 100%, right? Why play your strongest team every single game? Why not rest your best players in the Carabao Cup games, in the FA Cup games, in the Europa League games last season? You know, we're obviously in the Champions League now. Why not play a weaker team in the Carabao Cup? I don't understand this phenomenon of playing your strongest team. And also, what happened to playing blended teams as well? It seems like when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer rests a team, he goes with a completely new starting 11. And then if he doesn't rest the team, he goes with the same starting 11. There's never a middle ground with this guy. There's never a mixed team with Maguire, Pogba, Bruno, Martial, and then 7 other reserve players, if you know what I mean. It's always completely one way or completely another. Well, Maguire starts regardless, but you know what I mean, right? Like, take the Carabao Cup game against Luton Town 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago at the time of me recording this video, right? We played such a strange team compared to what we usually play. And, you know, there were a few players there that played well and that should have started against Brighton in the very next game, but they didn't. And I was like, so you played that weak team just so you can rest your team, but the team that you played against Brighton got absolutely battered. And then you still played those players against Spurs and they got absolutely battered again. And then you still not going to drop them for Newcastle next week. Come on, my guy. Come on, Ollie. You got to start making changes in your team selection and your man management, bruv. Like, I can only defend Ole Gunnar Solskjaer so much. At some point, you have to take accountability for the things that you do, the things that are literally in your control, like selecting the right team. So that's where I'm at with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the moment. Anyways, I did enjoy that video. It was a very short video to what I'm used to making on this channel, so there will be more content coming out soon. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day / evening whenever you're watching this. And as usual, it's been your boy Triple M, sending you positive vibes. Peace out and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thanks for watching.